Previously on Raiders of the Serpent Seas. Drifthall burned, the sea churned, and from the depths a legend, the Serpent, rose. A beast so massive it coiled around shattered longships, its head cresting the waves like a mountain of scaled doom. The raiders fought bravely, Baldur, Rauder and Frida striking with their might, Loki and Zisa unleashing devastating magic. But the serpent was relentless. Its poisonous breath withered their strength. Its fangs sought to tear them apart, and the sea itself felt like it was turning against them. And then the sky ripped open. From the void, a blackened bone chariot descended, drawn by monstrous winged steeds. A woman stood atop, a figure wreathed in shadow and power. Boda had returned. "You thought you could change fate," she sneered. "You thought you could defy the will of the Jotun. Fools!" And a flick of her hand, she cast Finger of Death, and before the raiders could react, Zisa fell, dead before she hit the deck. And then she rose again, a body twisted into an undead puppet of Boda's command. The battle raged on, but the tide had turned. One by one the heroes fell, crushed beneath the serpent's might, torn apart by venom, blade and despair. Drifthall was lost. And then blackness. Yet death was not the end. They awoke, rising, their bodies borne skyward by the Valkyries of the halls of the slain, calling them home. Before them Grimir stretched out as a sea of darkness, but even in death they were not safe. Tendrils from the moon lashed out, trying to claim them, dragging the fallen back into the abyss. They fought on, not for their lives, but for their very souls. Frida grappled with the darkness, Loki shattered the void, Rauder and Baldur fought with all they had left, but even still, Madresh was lost, slipping from the grasp of the Valkyries and vanishing into the void. Finally, the gates of Valhalla loomed ahead. The last tendrils broke off against the threshold, and the raiders fell through the gates, collapsing into the land beyond. As they woke, a voice greeted them. "Well, well, well. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?" Okay, so yeah, lots going on in the moments here. We are here at the land of the dead, I guess, in the halls of the slain. Hrolf has just introduced himself again and is smiling at you all in these moments. But we do mechanically have a couple of things we do have to cover. At this point in the game, I believe one of you has reached an epic goal, which would be for Rauder, for Drew's character. So yes, you have finally dying actually got you mechanically something beneficial in this particular case. So yes, so the way this plays out. So yes, once you arrive on the beach, you feel a strange sensation coming over you. In that moment that you have dreamed of for so many lifetimes, and you have finally reached the ultimate destination. You have died and therefore been found worthy, and your epic goal has been achieved. You gain the gift of perseverance. You now have advantage on all saving throws. So that is your epic gift. So the first one,
that's epic.
it is an epic gift. But yes, so your one is the first to actually come through in the whole of the on the game on that one. So yes, that will be yours from now on. So bear it in mind mechanically, and then we'll figure out how to work that into your sheet when the time does come. So yes, as Hrolf is there and you're all sort of looking around at each other, there is a moment where one of you is just a little different from everybody else. So Zisa, this is her old form, her new form. I suppose it's both in one is the best way to put it. So yes, what do they see with this version of Zisa?
You see that Zisa now has a palette of color akin to a normal human now. Slightly still maybe on the pale-ish side, but much less undead-ish, I guess. You see that her hair is in battle braids. You see that her wings are now fully realized. Instead of the spectral ones that you've been seeing, she is in some lighter, more combat-oriented armor than what you've maybe seen her in. She has wrist wraps. You see that the tattoos are not visible anymore. And she has an expression on her face which you've never seen before, which is surprise and then just immense relief as she runs up to Herolf and gives him just the biggest hug.
Zisa, yeah, as you do go to actually do that, you don't realize, but in the moments you pass through him, unable to actually hug, and he's like a little bit shocked in the moment as you he's like, calm down, whoa, as he's looking on, and he sort of looks on inquisitively. He's like, what's going on with that then? Why do you look so different?
She looks down at her hands, and is she the only one kind of translucent, or is everyone else?
Yeah, so this is at this point that the others will notice that she is slightly translucent compared to everybody else. The rest of you look as yourselves, you feel as yourselves, but Zisa does not. She does have this this look around her of slightly translucent, and there is a giant glowing rune just above one hand on one arm, in the shape of a bite mark, Zisa, and that's odd to you as well. Herolf is saying, Zisa, you look so different there, and why are you? And he tries to, and you have no substance as he does that on that one. Are you really here?
I don't know. I fell. I was gone. And then I rose, and I remember it was like how I fell, but in the opposite direction. It was a path I've taken before. I feel like many, many times, but this feels familiar. This place, it's I
think you're home.
I feel like I'm home.
Indeed.
And again, you're seeing Zisa emote, which you have not seen before.
No, it's a very different.
Is deeply unsettling.
As everybody is watching this in the moments, and Herolf looks around at them. So, well, you're all here in one go, so I take it things didn't go too well, or did we win?
And Snake got us. Snake thrower just couldn't throw it far enough.
Don't forget the god that killed one of us too.
Oh yeah, that one.
Two of us. I still can feel the flames. This is like Boulder, like Bogey's staring out to the distance, remembering being burnt alive.
I remember a flash of green, and then nothing, until we were ascending.
No. Well, you made it here, so it must have been one hell of a battle, but I'm a little disturbed that you're here so soon. I thought it would be waiting a lot longer, but I feel like I've only been here moments myself. It is beautiful. As he's just looking out towards the sea and just looking around, he said, I've been here a few days, and it is an amazing place. You'll be able to see and look for yourselves. There is much to take in and see. Thorny doesn't really talk too much at the moment, seeing as he's building his hall. He seems very preoccupied, but some of the others do talk, and there are strange beings around this place. But stories are true. There is drink, there is wine, there is food. It is kind of as promised. I was almost surprised. I thought
Alder is stunned in silence because he's not currently here.
Yes, yeah. He's just like, oh my god, as he takes off.
He passed
running.
out when he saw Zisa.
That's gonna be fun for Seb to come back and see. I cannot wait.
He will definitely have a moment on that one.
Speaking of Azisa, I think one of the first things she does is she looks over. Is Scald around?
Scald is here. Yes. Yeah, she would have made it on that one. Her wings are missing compared to yours on that one. She looks the same she did before. And she looks solid. That would be another thing that you would see in the moments. She doesn't look lost in the same way as ethereal as you seem to be here on that one. She's stoic as always. I don't know if I've got her picture here, but yeah, she's stoic as always as you come up to her. So one of us got our wings back then.
Well, why?
Well, you didn't lose yours in the same way, I'm guessing, as I did.
I just vaguely remember the fall. Nothing before. The feeling of contentment, of return is just that. It's a feeling. There's no memory. I still know nothing from before the impact, and then living off the land the best I could until Horof found me.
Give it time. You're home. It's an odd sensation. I didn't think I would be back here, but it is nice to be home. Even if I'm not the same.
Yeah, can Zisa test the spectral wings? Can they work here, or are they just kind of for show?
You are floating a few. This is probably where you realize you are floating a little piece, a little bit off the ground. Do you try to fly up a little bit?
Yeah, I want to test out the wings. I want to test out maybe a cantrip to see if I can still cast.
Yeah. You can. Which order does this happen in?
The wings first.
The wings first. Yeah. As you do, Skull tries to grab you to stop you flying up, and says, "Whoa! Don't go too far. Don't go too high."
I just go maybe like 10 feet up. I just want to see if I can actually, hover a little bit.
You can. You do float up, and she says, Skull warns you, don't go any higher. Whatever you do, it's not good here for flying. Not when at least it wasn't when I was last here.
I give her like a concerned look, but I will let myself lower, and then I'll just fire a firebolt into the water just to see if my magic still works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you go to do that, the firebolt will work. No problem on that one. Skuld says, Valkyries here for a long time have had a problem. The storms over the seas, and if they get too high, they get struck. You've got to be very careful if you fly here. Very careful. At least it was when I was last around. I doubt it has changed.
And again, Zisa's drawing a blank. She just doesn't remember any of that, so she's just going to go ahead and take it at face
Unlike Zisa, obviously, clearly Skuld has memories, and maybe she hasn't been fully letting on, but she obviously clearly has memories of being here from that one. Just take it steady. I don't know why you're this, and she looks at you as the sort of the ethereal version. But just, yeah, be cautious for now.
Is there an Arcana check or anything I can make to see if I can't suss out? Maybe knowing that the spell that hit me affected it somehow, or
You can make an Arcana check on that. That's interesting.
okay. Also, James, I just want to say this art is badass. So thank you for this. It's very
That's all right.
cool.
We managed to find something that was resembled her for that
Yeah.
one. But yes, it's
Okay, so Arcana. Here we go. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. 25.
okay. Yeah, on that one. It's possible. I mean, if what you heard about the green ray, I'm gonna say there was a moment where Finger of Death came up as a thing. Could it be anything to do with that? Possibly. But with a 25, I'm gonna give you that it's your strong sort of intelligence and gut feeling is it's something to do with that mark on your hand more than anything else.
Okay.
Um,
She'll just kind of like put her hand over that mark and think on that a little bit.
No problem. Hrolf will say, well, you're all here, and maybe it's time to go get a drink. Unless you have any more pressing matters to be dealing with, I think what's going on the other side is beyond our help now. At least we can celebrate. It's good to see you all. And yeah, he sort of
Frida's just been staring at the hall, just waiting for the conversation to end. So we
yeah,
can go.
absolutely. So yeah, you do see. I'm gonna give me a perception check, Frida, as this is all going on. That is very valid. As the hall in the distance is definitely is there, sort of being built in the moments as this is all going on. Okay. So with a perception check of a 5. You could have sworn for a moment that there was a tree outside it, but that's, yeah, in a blink, there is nothing. Yeah.
I wonder how many people we are going to see that we've killed in the past week or so. That's going to be a fun.
Oh my god, I've
Talk.
put so many people here.
that is true. That is true.
It's like Batman being locked up in Arkham Asylum.
If they died in heroic battle, the odds are pretty good. If they're either here or in Hell's realm, so it's one of the two. So yeah, so let me just double do this bit. So on that one, so yeah, you're on these shores again. So you can see the horrid, weird, silvery water behind you that is thick like porridge, unlike a normal sea. Very, very strange land that you're seeing on that front. White ash and black oak trees all around, and a path winding through the forest towards to the Hall of the Slain up ahead. But yeah, I'm assuming you guys start walking and talking, or on that one as you sort of make your way forward, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
No problem. Okay, so the first point you get to is so the sun is like a tiny orb in the far distance that seems to be under a sail from a clawing mist at all times as you're walking along here. Yeah, otherwise this place is serene. Your spirits feel calm. The trees, despite their shadows, are never menacing, and you have the sense that you are utterly safe in these woods. The trail splits with a small path leading east and the main trail upwards towards the north. Everybody can give me a perception check. We're going to see how we're going to do. Oh, someone's done very, very well.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's no train.
I missed the train.
Well, Seb will be back and bring the train with him at some point, for sure on that one. Okay, so Frida and Blokey, you're the only ones that will notice this on that one. There is a odd smell coming from the trail to the east. It is acrid and ashy, kind of scent that seems to be coming off from that path. But other than that, nothing else to suggest anything. So yes, obviously you've got two trails. Obviously this east one and the main trail that seems to be heading north. But which way would you two guys like to initially proceed?
Maybe not go the bad smelly way.
What is that way?
Rada fully thinks it's Boulder.
with the roll, fair enough on that one. Hrolf says, I don't know everything here. There are lots of strange, what do they call themselves, like fae-like beings around this place. They seem to busy themselves doing many different things, but yeah, I don't rightly know. I've not been to the east.
I don't want to deal with the Fae. Let's just keep going forward.
No problem.
Yeah.
You guys continue forward, and you reach a small bridge made of wood. Seems to pass over a gentle creek. Straight ahead, the trail leads through a forest beyond, which appears to be a settlement. Another trail leads west, deeper into the woods. So yes, there is some sort of settlement off to the side, and then obviously another route that continues onwards in front of you. So yeah, are you taking the offshoot or are you going straight on? Is the question.
I mean, I think Aziza would just be following Hrolf unless anybody has a reason to go elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
Frida just wants to go to the hall.
Yeah,
And
no
go
problem.
Yeah, I don't think
Same.
exploring's on Blokey's to-do list quite now. It's
It's
get a drink.
It's flowing
That's number
flowing
one.
forward. No problem. Easy enough. Right, so we get to this one. You crest a great hill, and finally the Halls of the Slain is there in its entirety. A square hall sits in the center, built from golden brown logs with round-colored shields covering the roof. It is partially built, not complete at this time. There appears to be animals grazing around and clustered around in herds. When you do sort of start getting closer, you do see that in amongst them there are many different dead, the other people like yourselves wandering around. A few Valkyrie here and there, and they just seem to be basically collecting bits to continue the work of what is going on with the build of this place as this is going on. In the center of it, there are many Valkyrie, and they are there with a man who seems to be building a lodge. Where is he for you? 1 second. This guy, yeah, he seems to be literally there doing carpentry work, literally bashing and creating part of the framework of this very incomplete hall. But you can also see there are tables laid out. Food and wine are already placed upon the tables, but yeah, the building itself is not finished in its entirety at this point in time. You guys press forward, or are you going to head for drinks, or are you going to try and bother the guy building the place? What's the first thoughts?
First thought is a drink.
Zisa's lack of memory, I don't know if there would be some sort of gut feeling to know who this person is. So
there might be an inkling there on that one, but yeah, not too dramatic.
Yeah, so I think maybe it would be a question of just kind of like stopping to take him in,
Mhm.
maybe trying to figure it out. Don't know what our resident paladin would be doing, but that's all Zisa would be doing at this
Yeah.
point.
You were saying something to Harolf, Frida? Was that in the
Yeah,
moment?
all I was gonna say is, who is that man? Is that?
He's
Do I get a weird sense?
100%.
Like a religion?
Yeah, you don't
Okay,
need to make a
cool.
religion check. You get a weird sense of it, and he says he's been doing nothing but build the building since I've got here. But I think that is who you think that is, Frida. He won't talk to anyone. He seems to be mourning his lost love. He's not been here very long either, from what he keeps saying to those that have spoken to him. But he won't talk to many. The Valkyrie keep him spared of most of us, as far as I can tell.
I want to go talk to him, but I don't think that's wise if...
The Valkyrie have been turning people away left, right, and centre for sure. They say he's mourning, and yeah, he's not in a good place on that front. I don't know how things work here, but it seems like we almost all arrive at the same time. Let's go get a drink first. Maybe we deal with him at the next point. Let's go get that drink.
Can Zisa gauge what Skald is reacting? How does she react to this?
Yeah, she's just she is make an insight check, Zisa.
Okay, I'd love to.
Yeah. And I'll give you an advantage because of you and her being a Valkyrie. You would probably be able to pick up on it easier than others.
Okay, but I get that at advantage there. A little better.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a little better. She's hard to read, but you do spot her sort of side-eyeing.
Oh, so I apologize. I actually did the advantage on the old perception check I made. Let me see if I can do a little.
You might
better on
might
insight.
improve.
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, she's really hard to read in these moments. You do think she is side-eyeing the man building the building, and she's obviously is sort of giving a general nod to a couple of Valkyries who seem to nod back in response. It's probably about this point, Zisa, that you start to realize that there are many people around here doing bits and bobs, but anytime any of them get anywhere near you, they kind of rechange the step or try to dodge, keep a space away from you, almost like you're giving off an aura of something that they don't like, because they're clearly doing it, as it's fairly obvious as well in the moment.
Obvious with my 7.
Yeah, it's that obvious a thing. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Zisa might have a 7 insight, but she has a 20 intelligence. She could probably put 2 and 2 together and realize that whatever she did that got her kicked out was bad, and people don't want to be associated with her.
Maybe, but there's there is certainly avoidance going on, which is not happening to some of the others. I think to some of the rest of you, you see some of the original crew from the first mission out, where some of the ships were lost that were with you and Harolf. Some of them will come by and literally shake hands and things like that. They're like just sort of seeing how you're doing and giving you a little bit of a thing, just sort of like people that you might recognize. I can't remember all the people that you have seen, but yeah, certainly some of them. I reckon the other side of that as well, Rowder, you're getting some dirty eyes from people as well, that as they're looking around, as clearly some of these people were put here by you. That's certainly going to be true as well. So yeah,
every now and then she'll catch eyes with someone, just grimace, and then like tilt her head down and put a hand over her face. Like,
yeah,
oh God.
yeah. It was that commander of that one battle many centuries ago that took a disliking to and died on your blade. So yeah, there's definitely plenty of that sort of going on as this is all happening. But yeah, you guys are able to make your way to the feasting halls. There is infinite amounts of wine going on. Laid out beautiful amounts of food, beautiful fruits, apples, everything you've been promised about the plentifulness of heaven is actually going on in these moments as you guys are in this feasting hall. But do you guys spend time, merriment, and just enjoy the drink of it for a while, for a period?
Loki would want that.
I was going to say,
Can Zisa even do that?
That's a very good question. Yeah, can Zisa actually partake? You are oddly, yes. When you do try to take some of the food, Zisa, and it does, you can pull it off. It seems that whatever's going on is more to do with the people than interacting with the objects around here for some reason. Yes. So yes, you do feel that. So yes, yes. And is there anything else anyone would be up to as any of this is going on?
I don't think Frida would drink. I think she's just staring at Thonia, I guess. Just because this is who she's devoted a big portion of her life to.
100%. And he looks like, at the moment, a carpenter, a guy that is building this hall. You can watch for a bit as the merriment continues on around you a little bit, and every so often he does stop, takes drinks with a few of the Valkyrie, eats sort of off on his own, and just seems quietly getting on with what's going on around as this is all happening. But seems to be a worker for sure at the moment, and not much else going on at this particular time. Is there anything else anyone else would be up to or doing in these periods of time, or is it pretty comfortable that the first day or first evenings here would be drinking their fill and eating the wares?
Loki will do that until he is stopped by the others.
Fair enough. Easily done, Loki. You drink. It is amazing. You're getting the effects of the drink, but you don't seem to be having the problems that come with the drink, if that makes sense. So he's just having the merriest of times. Is certainly true. Rounder, I mean, for her, this is what she's dreamed of for ever and a day, and hopefully it's as pleasant for her as she would expect, other than the looks.
There's just a breath of relief, and even though we're all being, eating and drinking and probably being a bit raucous, this is rather at rest. Like, there's just this sense of she can just finally relax.
Yeah, for that, a sense of peace that she's probably not known in all of these lives is certainly something that would be true in these moments for sure. In some ways, she has truly done all that she needed to do, and she's finally here. Many a century later than she should have been. Damn that bloody bard! But she is now here at least. anyone else? Is there anything else that needs to happen, or does the merriment continue into the nights and until sleep?
I mean, as content as Zisa is, she's still Zisa.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a question that needs to be answered, and she hasn't gotten an answer to it. So, I think what she's going to do first is maybe let Frida know. She'll just walk up to Frida.
Mm-hmm.
Frida, I would like to speak with Thonir. I'm home. I feel that. But I don't know why I was cast out to begin with. And I think there might be important answers there. I know that you've devoted much of your life to him. And I also feel that were you to accompany me, that the interaction would go a little bit better than it might were you not there.
Well, I will agree with that, but I don't think you're going to get past the Valkyries, even with me. If they
Lisa puts her hand through your face and just says, "It's possible they cannot stop me. Only one way to find out."
Are the other Valkyries like Zisa, or are they?
No, the Valkyrie around are as solid as you are, Frida, as far as you can tell. And some of them are here having drinks. Some have sort of low flown in and out of this place in the time we've seen. Others have been coming in with baskets of fruit and more boar meat and bits and bobs like that. So yes, they seem as solid as you are. Zisa is the anomaly in this case.
Hey, I do not think even he will talk to me, but we can try.
Thank you. And she's going to walk with Frida up to Thonir.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are making your way over as this is going on. It is of no surprise that a group of Valkyrie intercede in the on your way over to him. One of them sort of steps up and says, "Now, one second, let me get the right section here."
I will say, Zisa, that this is the first time now that she's probably human and can understand the emotions, Frida is nervous for the first time ever. She's been completely stoic faced, and now she's walking very nervously towards her hero. Basically, it's not normal. She doesn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys make your way up, this Valkyrie and the group of 4 others that are with him sort of put a hand on you, Frida, and look at you both in the moment and say, "Now's not the time for this. He works hard to forget, and you all are a walking memory. Rest yourselves. You have earned this. We know you are legends here of Grimir. The mortal world is no longer your concern. Leave it for the living. When he's less upset with what he's lost, there will come a time. But he does not need to know all of your stories yet." The question is, yes, do you take heed of him, or how does this play out?
I do not agree with you that the mortal world is not our problem anymore. The old gods are not only going to destroy Grimir, they will stop at nothing to kill everyone. And Personally, that's not something I can just sit with, and we need answers and we need help. He may be grieving, but we've all lost. We've even met his love, and trust me, she is not, from what I hear, dead. We actually have a contact with her, if you'd like to speak with her. I'm just going to say we have Blythe's speaking stone.
You definitely do have the speaking stone from that. That is definitely still true on that one. He says, "You don't understand what this man has gone through, and what he will become, but he is not there yet. I don't know how to make you understand this yet, but there is much going on here that you're not seeing yet. Give him time. You will get your answers, and he will be more understanding, but not in his grief yet. He can't see past it."
While my compatriot is concerned for those behind us, you misunderstand my intent. My lack of foresight might be because of my lack of memory. Brother, you know me, but I do not know myself. I may have been a person that could leave something like that behind, but who I've become, that is impossible. I need to know why I was cast out. You and yours avoid me.
And
that's fine.
Yeah, even though he is staring at you, you can feel the disdain of what you are right now is hard for him to. Even with a poor read, he's not hiding this, if that makes sense. But yeah, he's.
You don't have to provide me these answers. I see that you don't want to be around me, so I will go to the source. But thank you for your concern.
I suggest you wait.
Unless you want to give me the answers that I seek.
There are no answers I can give to a banished. And
then I suppose the conversation...
There is a grim line comes across his face.
Then I suppose the conversation is over. But thank you. And Zisa will fly through him if she needs to.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely fly through him in the moment. He does not stop you as you float on. Frida, do you push this, or are you willing to take heed of what he was saying in the moment?
Out of respect for him, I will not push any further. But we cannot wait much longer. I do not care about grief. He needs to step up now to help Grimir. She's going to walk away from him. No.
He does say one last thing to you, Frida. He says, "You will understand in time." And yeah, he sort of nods and he's giving the death stares to Zisa as she is walking up. And so Zisa, you float over towards this man who has basically picked up his tools and is starting to tap away, literally carving a piece of wood for an entrance section of the door on one side of the hall.
Hello?
And there is a sort of deep sigh as this person is continuing and said, "I told them all to stay away, but one still comes."
It is not their fault. What whatever orders you have given me, I cannot remember.
I don't remember ever giving any orders to your kind. Leave me be. Can't you see I've got a lot to do?
I do. Your work is renowned. But I have to ask a question, and I believe you're the only one who can give me that answer.
And if a humble carpenter can, I will try. What is it you seek? And he stops from hammering for a moment.
I have no memory of who or what I was. I was cast away. My purpose, my self, stripped. I need to know why. I need to understand. What did I do to you?
And Zisa is at this point that the confusion on the man's face is palpable in the moments, and he says, I don't even know you or what you are other than one of them that was here before me. I'm just a carpenter. I was a warrior in life, but now I just want to build my hall and grieve. And his his eyes drop in the moment. But no, I can't help you, whoever you are.
Change of tactic. Because Zisa, I think, figures out what's happening here. Who do you grieve?
Doesn't matter. And he starts to turn in the moment to go back to his hammering.
Does Zisa do it?
Oh, these questions. What does she do?
Zisa's still Zisa.
No matter what.
And this worked before, so I think she's going to try it again. Zisa is going to sorry, I'm just looking for
no problem.
the verb. Zisa's going to use her arcane intention as a dreamer.
Interesting.
And she's going to unprepare Earthbind. And she's going to look at this man and just say, I need you to remember who you are. And she's going to cast Suggestion.
Ooh, okay.
She did this on Hell.
Yes.
And it worked.
And it did work on Hell. That is definitely true. But in this case, Cisa, yeah, you do cast the spell. You do feel the magic is working as you expect in the moment, but it sort of it doesn't seem to connect with him as you try. You at least get that sense that he's not on that one, and you just hear him mutter, I know who I am. I'm just done. And then as he starts hammering again.
looking slightly crestfallen. She will just kind of nod to him and return to the others.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She will let Frida know. He's in the same situation that Sadi was in. Some sort of different existence is blocking his memories. He doesn't know who he is.
Well, it doesn't seem like we're going to get anywhere with him anytime soon. So let's celebrate. Frida does not celebrate.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm going to say, yeah, you guys are able to drink the plentiful boar meat carries on for the evening. People come and go as they see fit through the day. Eventually, it gets to the point where those that have been drinking need to sleep, and others not so much. But there are sleeping quarters, sleeping alcoves, barely half built at the back of this place. People can, unless there's anything else particularly, they can slowly but surely enjoy the merriment of the place and wander off towards to the cots to sleep it off, ready for the morning once more.
Is Skull partaking? Is she reveling or no?
She is. There is a warmth coming from her, I think, a little bit, but not dramatically. I think she is just surprised to be here and is just taking it all in. She's in very people-watchy mood. She's constantly watching people. So she has taken mead horns and she has drunk, but she hasn't partaken as strongly as others certainly would. And we're going to say Baldur definitely did.
Yeah. Unlike me, though, she's on speaking terms with the Valkyrie and maybe some sort of familiarity with them. Like, are they conversing with her? Is she conversing with them at all? Or
yes, every so often, different folk have come up to her. And you'll have a Valkyrie like doing the strong arm cross sort of embrace and things like that with her, and they're sort of lamenting. You don't catch all of the conversation, but she does sort of talk to some of them and explain losing her wings, and there's clearly a look of pity on some of the faces that you do see as she does tell that story. But it is a generally happy version of her is probably the best way to put it, as this is sort of continuing on.
Okay, then I think Zisa, the last thing she'll do is just approach Scald and say, "So you did not know me before?"
I didn't know. I knew of you. I didn't know you. There are lots of Valkyries, and we all take our moments and we take our time. I knew your face. I didn't know you so much.
And you lost your wings before I was cast out?
Yeah.
Insight check.
Yeah, you can absolutely make an insight check.
Okay, I don't like my odds of this. Still advantage or no?
Yeah, you can have advantage against her. Yeah, she's an easy read.
Thanks, James. Okay, so 10. Let's
Can
see.
you improve upon it? No,
Yes.
Yes, you can indeed. You think she's telling the truth on this one. Yeah, she is not. She's not trying to deceive with any of that. There is clearly more there than she is saying, but she is not being untruthful.
Okay.
She's holding back.
I personally helped free you from the Bendor.
You did. I am grateful.
I would consider us even if you would do me the kindness of listening to the other Valkyrie in regards to what they say of me. Perhaps what I did. Perhaps if Zisa is even my name. They may speak to you when they won't to me.
Some already have. From what I can tell, it is mostly confusion. I've not seen anyone yet that knows why you were banished.
So, among the living, I'm an outcast for my access to magic, and among the Valkyrie, I'm an outcast because of what I became.
I don't know all of it. But something, yes, like that must be true. She looks down at the mark on your hand. Is like, you don't earn that for just anything. I don't know anyone that has earned it, except you.
Do I know what the symbol means? With my new understanding of Celestial, does that help, or?
It is, you're pretty sure at this point it is a rune of banishment. It is a marking applied directly to your skin to do that. It's very powerful magic, so you'd be definitely aware of that. Other than that, no, probably not much more than that.
Okay, so she'll just nod again and say, I can just ask that you listen. And if you learn more, please tell me.
I will. I promise.
And Zisa goes off to find a place to rest.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, the rest of you will be able to take your sleep and rest as you see fit, as the evening progressed, until morning does come. The next morning, waking up is a little bit of a start. Looking round, what was the incomplete parts of this building are suddenly not so much in the moment as you wake up. The walls are built, the rooms are lit and comfortable as each of you stirs in these bunks around the sides of the sleeping hall.
Well, you don't get that kind of a quick workman in the land of the living, I'll say that. Like he's looking in awe at this thing.
Yeah, the hall is immaculate as you're looking around what you can already see. Brilliant, beautiful craftsmanship. Everywhere you look is beautifully carved and ornate. Probably the true image of what you would expect the hall to look like, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. In these initial moments as you look round. Do you guys make your way out of the sleeping hall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. You make your way into the main halls. Again, the same as you've seen before, except set for breakfasts. Drinks as far as you can see. There is now a beautifully carved wooden throne, and Thonir is sitting upon it, smiling and drinking from a mead a mead horn. There are others around already. They seem to be laughing and jesting. There is, obviously boar meat galore around as usual. But yeah, it seems to be a much brighter and livelier place. Very, very different from what you left the night before.
Did Rada even go to sleep, or did Rada just like eat and drink throughout the entire night?
Oh yeah, she 100% has not been to sleep yet.
Fair enough. Rowdy, you watched it in. There was like a moment where you blinked, and then the hall was as you see it now. As probably not too long ago, your friends have just wandered down from above. But the how much have I drunk would have kicked in for a moment there as you. But yeah, it was almost like a blink, and then the hall around you was like this. There was nothing in between. The other thing that when you try to speak to people, no one knows what you're talking about when you ask them. So you've been in a little bit of confusion for a few minutes as the others are making your way down.
Can we see Thonia?
Absolutely, yeah. He seems to be smiling, drinking with that one. There is a presence about him now, Frida, that you did not get as strongly from him before. Now it looks like, a true version of what you would expect the lord of this place to be, if that makes sense. He's almost exuding power where this is sort of going on, and you can clearly see that the Valkyrie are still ambling around, all the rest, but a very different feel, and there's none of the sort of protection going on for him that there was when you saw him the first time. The Valkyries watching, they're trying to keep him alone, all of that seems to have all gone around. He is literally chatting away with people. He is laughing and smiling and drinking with people, and there are cheers going up in his name. Very different feel in these moments.
Going on. I guess I walk up to him, I guess.
You make your way over on that one, and he says, "Greetings."
What is happening? Why? You seem totally different to a few hours ago.
Oh, I am sorry. When you arrive, I understand it can be disorientating. Look, you must be new, but I am Thornir, son of Alderheim, lover of hell, slayer of his mother, and I truly am the downfall of the Stormcourt and Grimir and all of it, but we are the dead. We will celebrate what has been and what is to come. For one day we will rise again and join everyone in the world of the living for the final battles at Ragnarok. But till that day, you, me, and everyone here, we will celebrate, we will enjoy, and we will have our time. So welcome to my hall, and enjoy it. And he sort of smiles at you brightly. He's a very much a different man. The other things, Frida, he is older, much older than what you saw the young man earlier. This is a man in his 40s, maybe. For Lord knows what in reality that means, but whereas he would have been in his early sort of 20s, something like that, when you saw him the morning before. Now you're closer up, you can clearly see this is a much older man. What can I do for you?
I do. I cannot even think of words to say to you. I've worshipped you nearly all my life. I've devoted my life to you. And don't even... I feel nothing in this moment.
Well, you're supposed to. And he sort of smiles at you. We all come here in the end. You died in battle, you obviously did that much. So you went out in glory. Well done. But now that time's passed. And
I went out in glory defending Grimir from your parents. I went out in glory fighting in your name. And you sit here drinking ale as if nothing is happening on Grimir. Hell would be disappointed.
He darkens at that in that moment.
She has helped us a lot. We have been in contact with her this entire time.
He grabs you in those moments by the scruff and he goes, "What do you mean? She's helped you? Your next words better be very careful, because I have killed men for less. I watched her die, and then I had to kill her mother, and in the process, she killed me. So don't be telling me any tricks in this moment." And you can see he's angry, but he is listening.
You talk to her. Hear it for yourself, as she's giving the speaking stone to him.
He looks confused and just looks at it, and he takes it and says, "Where did you get it?"
From her. We saved her from Boda, I think is the one that was messing things up in hell.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
That is true. Boda,
the other one.
on that one.
Boda, the one who finger of death me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We saved her from Boda's influence. She is back leading the reins of the afterlife-ish.
Yeah, the
before this
underworld.
bit.
Yeah, it is the underworld.
The underworld.
On that one.
And Boda and it's not Mikla, the other parent. They are both back.
Murgle and Boda are the other two parents that you've been helping against on that one.
The stories of your great battle may be true, but they have come back and they are hell-bent on destroying every single realm associated with you, hell, everything. That is why we're back here. That is who killed us.
Yeah, you got to make a persuasion check. Yeah, roll well.
Zisa would have been somewhat near Frida when this was happening. Is there any way that she could say something to possibly help?
What have you got in mind? I'll hear it in the moment. What have you got in mind?
Okay. Your beloved traveled with us. She was a part of our crew. She saved our lives. She spoke fondly of you. She attempted to circumvent fate to be with you. It unfortunately could not be, but she has put her trust in us. We ask that you trust her judgment.
Okay. Frida, yeah, you can make the roll. I'm gonna lower the DC. I can't think it's advantage because of this case, but yeah, I'll change the roll level.
Blokey would be doing something while this is all going on.
Sure. What can Blokey be up to in the moment?
So, like, from the beginning, he's been weirded out by the sudden change in everything to do with thin air.
It's a lot.
And has been, looking at the other dead people's reactions to see if they're equally as thrown off by the sudden change in Thonair. And then B, during when Thonair suddenly, like, shows interest in listening to what Frida has to say, Blokey wants to look specifically at individuals such as like the Valkyrie to see if anyone looks alarmed by the idea that Frida could be getting through to this man, because it's too big of a change for Blokey to even consider that this is normal.
Make a perception check. Yeah, make a perception check as this is all going on, because it's all very valid stuff.
Can I do insight?
If you were picking a particular person, I think you could, but you're not. You're more.
Okay,
you're
it's
trying
too
to.
vague.
Yeah, you're trying to read the room more. So I think it's more perception.
Fair enough.
17. I think the thing that would be most clear to Blokey is just how nonplussed everybody else is. No, they don't. Either they're not aware that there's something's changed, or they're really, really good at hiding it. But no, it's the lack of surprise that probably gets Blokey.
Rolf is also not surprised.
Rolf is sort of looking around as all this is sort of going on, and would he be there at this point? 1 second. Hrolf is down in the feasting hall, Blokey. You would have spotted him, but he hasn't noticed you guys at this point.
But he doesn't seem like weirded out by the sudden amazing building.
No, he seems to be drinking.
The fact that Thonair is in a chair.
Drinking and celebrating.
Okay, that's weird. I feel like true Hrolf would have been sniffing out some bullshit at this point.
Well, we will come back to this in the moment.
This is Blokey's theory.
Yeah, fair enough on that one. So Frida, you can make that persuasion roll and see how you do.
Yeah. I'll roll it now. I will say, when he does grab Frida, she doesn't look scared. She saw her idol basically just be nothing more than
a carpenter.
A grieving carpenter, and now all of a sudden he's cheering and drinking. This isn't what she imagined, so she is 22?
22 on persuasion, and he says, "You speak of very strange things. You gotta understand, I stood on the shores here, and I watched her appear to me. We kissed, and in that moment she was gone. Destroyed. Forever. Now you say she has been helping you. But you seem to be... This is very confusing." He tries the stone, and nothing happens, Frida, as he tries to do something on that one, and he just looks down on it and says,
Thinking about it now, we may be too far out of the realm of this sort of magic. It is not...
That makes sense to me. But this is one of hers. I'll give you that.
Do any of us have a coin still?
I don't know. I think a lot of them got spent, so I'm not sure if anyone does have any of those. You don't think he's doubting you, Frida, in the moments on that one? And he sort of says, "So, sit with me. Tell me about her. What has she become? I won't make you do it."
Blythe does have a rooster coin.
Ah, okay.
I can give him that as well from Blythe.
Yeah, there are...
I mean, Blythe is here, so I can literally just point and say, point at the wolf. I'm sure the wolf is here as well.
No, the wolf is not here. No.
Oh, never mind.
The pet,
Oh, no!
the pet is not here, unfortunately. No.
I thought all dogs go to heaven.
Not
That's
yet,
what I heard.
as far as we can see.
Oh,
But
Do we still have the drawing that she drew?
Yes.
yes.
that's with-
Oh no.
I think Balder would have that, wouldn't he?
It was either
I
Baldur.
physically do.
Ah,
It was Baldur. It was definitely Baldur.
Yeah, he will take all this. So I think the way this plays out, because I don't want you to have to role play it, if that makes sense. But I assume, Frida, you fill him in on what Sadi, the meeting her, the strange occurrences, the figuring out that she is hell and reincarnated, and all of that slowly comes out of the. He gets the story of everything that that you know. I'm assuming, unless you're holding any of that back, Frida, in the time. And
This is going to be really hard, and I don't think I'm going to be it. Can I just insight this? Is this really Thonia, or is this something that's
you can make an insight check.
like what happened with was it Plato that was imitating?
You definitely had you knew Sadi had a simulacrum in her realm that was taken over, but yeah, you can make a.
I knew this.
It's just too hard to read. But how much do you fill him in? Do you think you hold back?
Everything relevant.
Okay.
I'd say if it's little details, I don't think Frida tells him.
He is enraptured by the stories that you tell of everything that goes on in Grimir. The trips with the younger version of her, and that the fact that that she was reincarnated and was brought here under strange circumstances, which he lightens at, and the eventual trips to the underworld and all of that. And when you finish your story, he says, "So she was reborn then." And there is a very strong smile on his face. She lives again. And she was brought back here by the Rainbow Spear itself. It is strange fate. The fact that any of that is still working is surprising. And he says, Ragnarok will come. And when it does, we will fight against them again. The fact that Baldur lives surprises the hell out of me. I thought I killed her. And I thought I took away all her chances of ever using the spear again. But clearly, she's found ways around some of that. But I am pleased with what you have told me. Thank you. Frida, is it?
Yes.
These are better days. And yeah, he is truly lightened by what you have told him, Frida, in these times.
Is there a head round Zeus's waist? Did we bring the head of a god?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I was going to ask that question too.
Fair enough.
I just didn't want to interrupt.
Well, we have to. We'll deal with you opening the bag when that time comes, Issa. But does anything else? Do you do anything else with him in these moments, Frida? Or, he seems pleased. He talked about the rainbow spear. He feels that when Ragnarok comes, he will return, and all will play out as expected. But yeah, is there anything more she does?
Probably just towards the end when he says that, I'll say, Ragnarok will come. It will come a lot sooner than you think, though. And I hope that everyone in these halls of slain are prepared for that.
They're working.
It is not it is not in years. It is a matter of days, weeks that this will happen. I don't know how time works here, but in Grimir, it could already be starting.
We will redouble our efforts then. And he stands up and proclaims, to all within my voice, we will be prepared as we have all spoke of before for when the day of the Ragnarok comes. Train well. The halls outside, the training grounds are fully built and there to be used. Train well, for when the time comes, we will return. And there is the raucous roar as the hurrahs go up for that as this is all sort of going on in the moments. But that's good. He starts to move around, talking to others, Frida, as if the tension's sort of moving away. But he sort of gives you that pat on the arm and sort of starts to move on. Is there anything else going on in these moments in the halls?
Well, Frida just spurred him into action, so Zisa is done talking to him as well, I guess. So, nothing now.
I would have also asked, since we're like chums now.
He's certainly been
Busy,
now that it seems to be maybe a past version of him, but also a future version. I don't really know if he knows anything now about Zisa.
And he says, your friend there. I think you better ask her to come join me for a little while. Come for a little walk.
Yep. So after our conversation, I'll walk over to Zisa and say, he would like to talk to you now. It sounded very ominous. I'm just going to say that.
It's a one-on-one with a god. I would expect nothing less.
What could go wrong?
Luckily, we have experience with chit-chatting with the divine.
At least I may not be the only one that's threatened by a god today. I'm just going to say that.
Fair enough.
And Zisa will float over, and I think she will say, before we have our discussion, is there anything that you would like to ask Hel? It's possible that I may be able to reach out to her on your behalf.
He's taken aback by that one, and
my reach is limited to yes or no answers, but if you have anything that you would like to know in those absolutes, I may be able to aid you.
If you can ever get a message through to her, just tell her I love her. And I miss her.
I can do that. Or at least I can try if you would allow. And Zisa's going to, and she actually doesn't have to swap this around because it's already prepared. She is going to take a minute, ask him just to hang on, and she is going to cast Contact Other Plane.
Okay, fair enough.
I should have had, if Zisa was in Zisa mode, she, before doing this, would have been like, hey, Blokey, inspire me, but she didn't, so this is just gonna have to be a straight intelligence check. I do have a +9 to this.
No
so
problem.
I should, in theory, be able to do this, but because the dice are dice, let's see how I roll low. Oh,
okay. With 29. Yeah. It is one of those ones where you reach out and you see yourself sort of, you feel yourself pushing off into the outer world of this place, moving where you wish to, and there is just the shattered gates of the hall and black tendrils that are wrapping around the outside of this place, and the projection just cannot get through. Something here is different, Zisa. That should work, but you cannot make that pass where you wish to at this time.
So then Zisa comes back to herself and says, I'm sorry, there is something blocking my spell.
There is
Tendrils around this place, something that attacked us as we ascended. Do you know anything about that?
There is more darkness here than there should be. This place is safe, but there is something clawing at the edges. I can feel it now. It's not strong, but it is persistent. The fact of what your friend said about Border being alive at least give me some idea of what it is. The Jotun are attacking in what ways they can. But my hall is strong. They will have to do far better than that. But I can feel it.
As you say, it's beyond my ability to understand, which is what I'm hoping you will help rectify on our walk, at least in some regard.
I can help you with some of it. You've been gone a long time. Welcome back. I hope you found what you were looking for.
I don't know. I cannot remember anything before the fall. I was searching for something.
You felt there was a need to leave. That there was more than just what you'd been tasked with. You were always a smart one. But
So you're
you
saying
felt you
that
needed to go.
I chose to fall.
I didn't know a way of doing it. But I at least had some hand in it. I pointed you to someone that I knew probably could. You wanted to leave so badly. Your parents grieved for you for a long time.
My parents.
He nods.
Ooh. She like looks around. Like, are there?
There are many Valkyrie here in these halls. Some older, some younger. None. There's no sense of against any of them at the moment. In these moments, as he says it, Thonia looks at you again and says, "I travelled a lot across the seas of this place when I was younger. I fought many foes, found many enemies, and many strange people. One of them was the Keeper, and I pointed you in his direction. Now, visiting that land where he is a little beyond anyone now that all the ships are gone, but if anyone solved the problem, it would have been him and helped you through. But yes, you did choose to go.
And there was no way of allowing me to leave that left me whole, that kept me intact. I had to be fractured to fall.
I don't know what the Keeper promised you, or told you of what you would become. But clearly, there was a lot going on when it happened. You knew that things were coming that were going to need more of a direct hand than what the Valkyrie could do. You felt the need to be something different or more than you were. I tried to say that all Valkyrie are even from beyond my time. You have your gifts for bringing people here when the time comes. But that was not enough for you, Zisvar.
Zisvar.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Zisvar. I am a Valkyrie named Zisvar. And I have parents. And my decision to leave was granted by you.
No, I just pointed you in the direction of someone that could. The Keeper was the one that would have done what needed to be done. And I have not seen him in forever. But he is in one of the outer lands for sure. I pointed you towards the north, and that was the last you were seen here. But for sure, he would have given you that. And he grabs hold of you, Zisa, and just takes your hand.
He can?
Yeah. And he turns
Okay.
He turns your arm over and shows you the rune. He would have given you that.
So, to know more, I have to seek out the Keeper again.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, in the time you've gone, I got rid of all the ships that could sail the seas. It was too dangerous. Too many Valkyries were lost that way. Too many friends.
But you say that I am more. That those that are here with me are the stuff of legends. Could you build us a ship and allow me to leave again?
I cannot build ships like that. There's only one man that can. There is a carpenter amongst us that is exceptional at building ships, but I don't even think he has the means at his disposal anymore to do it. His name is Runar. He is around somewhere in these lands. He comes and goes as he pleases. He was always a better man than me for building things. But he has not built ships in an age. And now he doesn't even have the materials to do it, I think.
What would he need?
When we first arrived here, we cut down the magical trees that would allow us to build boats that could sail the seas here. There are none of those trees left. So yes, even if he was willing, which I doubt, he doesn't have the material to do it.
You have given me much to consider. But there were answers that I did not have that you provided, and I do thank you for that.
I may not have all the answers for you, but I hope it at least sets you on the path. As I clearly set you on the path once before. I don't regret that, but I am sad to see you and the others here. It means you're not there at the time when the Ragnarok was to come, and that saddens me.
Your beloved allowed us to leave her realm. Is that a power that you have here to send us back?
No. I don't have the power to send the dead anywhere. Ragnarok is a different matter. When that day comes, we can move. But until that day comes, no, I do not know a way of sending people back. A Valkyrie was different. A Valkyrie I could send to someone else. They are not the same. But no, you and your friends, I can't send you from my halls. I have no way of achieving that. It's not within my power.
And even as he's talking, Zisa's like thinking of things. Her mind is turning. But she'll nod and just say, then I have just one more question, and I will allow you to get back to the business of being you. Can you tell me where my parents are?
Around these sort of times, they're usually out in the outskirts of the halls, usually in the outer gardens. They sit on the benches there a lot. Thinking of you, I think.
I will search for such a pair. Thank you.
And he nods.
I think Zisa will leave him be.
Okay. Is there anything else in these moments that will be happening? Or can we call it there for a moment, quickly grab a drink and return, will be the question. Anything else in this scene, I suppose, would be the best way of putting it.
In my scene, done.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, in this in the halls scene, I guess, yeah.
No, probably just since Thonia said go train, Zisa's probably beating the shit out of a lot. Not Zisa, sorry. Frida's probably beating the shit out of lots of people training, enough. But actually just getting out all of her pent-up emotions and frustrations that we keep losing, and we keep nothing's going our way at this point.
That is fair. Blokey, though, he did have some questions, and he was talking about Harolf. But is there anything else he's doing?
Yeah. He put with Thonia now out of the hall talking to Zisa, he probably would have asked people around questions about what's Thonia like as a person, and would also try and reference his sad carpenter form without suggesting that was Thonia. Just to get the general vibes of if sad carpenter version is a memory to any of these people.
Okay. Most that you do speak to do not understand it on that one. Others do and say yes. Many centuries ago, when we first arrived, he was very sad, and I do remember him being, as you spoke, humbly working on the hall, his magnificent works.
So the people that say that, I'm gonna say to them, I'm gonna ask them if they remember when our little gang showed up. And if they've seen us here before, essentially, how long they think we've been here.
Yeah, fair enough. No, they think we're a new arrival, Blokey. They none of them, nobody recognizes you. And it's no more clear than when you speak to Herolf. When you do actually finally find him on that one, he says, well, 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 aren't you a sight for sore eyes then? It's blocky, isn't it?
Yes, sir. You welcomed us yesterday when we arrived. Do you not remember this?
You've been here for a while? I thought I would have seen you straight away.
You met us on the docks. We walked up to here together.
What? No, I've been drinking here for most of the day. I've been here a long time.
Yesterday.
He looks confused. Okay. At you, and he says,
I will ask him to describe what Zisa looks like to me, actually, just to see what he thinks.
He is asking, questions, but he describes Zisa as you knew her, and is she here Zisa too?
Yes, she looks a little bit different though. She's talking with the big boss at the moment. And I'll indicate towards the throne.
Fair enough on that one. And yeah, Herolf starts to pick up on some of these bits as this is going on. But yeah, Blokey, it is incredibly apparent that Herolf does not know any of what transpired the day before on that one. He says he's been here for what feels like centuries. He has his good and bad days, but spends most of them celebrating. But he does remember you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Blokey will have, after gathering all this, will immediately run to tell Frida that this is weird and he is not comfortable.
Fair enough. Well, at that point, then we'll quickly go grab a drink, and then we will reconvene. So yeah, if we have 5 minutes, and then we will be back. This scene sort of passes, and there will be just a couple more things. Blokey, I will have you do a couple of rolls on a table of rumors, because I want to see what gossips you did pick up during the time. So I would like 2 rolls from Blokey, as he's been doing the chatting around with people as that is going on.
What am I rolling?
Sorry, yes, it would help. A D8. Twice on the D8 roll.
2 separate ones, or?
Yeah, 2 separate
mix
D8s.
Together.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. 1 D8.
Okay, yeah. So this first one, and an 8. Okay, so yeah, number 1. So a servant walks through with raw pieces of meat on a wooden plate and stares at it, muttering, "I could have sworn I cooked this." So something is going on as he head scratches that moment as they're walking past. The other one is 2 men arm wrestle, the winner getting a large tooth as the prize. They keep playing games and passing the tooth back and forth. If asked about it, they are told it's a dragon's tooth, and once dragons roamed the skies of Valhall, but Thornir did something to them, is the rumor.
Interesting. Half of it wasn't a dragon's tooth. It would be great.
It's a pretty big tooth. Okay, so with that, is there anything else anyone is up to? What's the plan here? It is midday.
I'm just telling Frida everything, and then we'll probably question Zisa about what happened with Thornir, because Bloke is in full investigator mode now. He is completely weirded out by this place.
Fair enough. So yeah, you all sort of filled in. How much does Zisa fill them in, I suppose, is the question.
I don't think Zisa has a reason to leave out anything. So, I think she would probably keep everybody in the know about it.
So yeah,
what did you say her name was? What's my name?
Zisfara.
Zisfara.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she would probably still be fine with being called Zisa.
Yeah, that was another person. You don't feel like you're that person at this point.
Yeah.
So you have parents here.
I do. I actually did not know. I thought that Valkyrie just were. I was unaware that there was any sort of parentage. I would like to meet them. But I think there are more pressing things, and if they did want to seek me out, I think they would know that I've arrived. So I believe I will leave that to them for now.
Loki will like nod sympathetically, but then will say, "So you said about building boats out of magic trees. That sounds like the whole Ironwood situation back in the land of the living." And then he's gonna suddenly smack the back of his neck and go, is that still a problem here? The stuff in our... And he's like pointing to the back of his neck.
Oh, interesting.
I can find out if you give me a moment.
One thing I suppose that would be very apparent, none of you have heard any voices in your head.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna try. He's gonna like stare at Frida and say stuff in his head.
Silence. Yeah. Frida is unaware.
Well, she no longer hears Baldo.
Lisa does be prepared, so she is just going to go ahead and use a spell slot to cast Detect Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Your magic items are giving off the right things, etc. But no, there's no signs of anything within your heads in this case, which you were able to pull out before. Obviously, the other thing with detect magic right now is this whole place is like a golden palace when you light this up in the moment. But yeah, there isn't anything different on the people than you would expect normally, and no signs of Ironwood.
Well, that's that problem solved.
Yeah, there are some advantages to being dead.
Who'd have thought?
So yeah, what are you thinking? What would be your next steps?
I suppose one of the first things we should speak of is Rauda. Do you wish to stay here? This was what you wanted all along. If we were to go further, would you come with us?
You drew.
Yeah, she definitely takes a moment to think about that.
I suppose that if you were to leave this place and fall again, you would just return. But is that something you even want?
I guess technically this is all the afterlife.
That's a good point, Rhoda. Yeah, you've not done a lot of exploring of the afterlife yet.
Yeah, this is a new place for her. So yeah, she feels like she saw everything in the world of the living once or twice. So yeah, this is, after a moment of thinking, yeah, she would definitely likes the idea of actually seeing something new for a change. She hasn't really seen anything new for a good long time.
Yeah, history tends to repeat, and that's definitely been true over time for her. That would definitely be a thing. But yeah, this is fresh, and this is definitely every day is fresh and new right now. Yeah, definitely a different feel.
There's no reason for you to make a choice now. We've got to figure out how to get out first.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
that is a very good
until
point.
that moment.
I'm assuming Zisa did say that Thornir said that leaving was not really plausible, other than whatever happened for the Valkyrie version of yourself. He did also explain about travel over the seas is no longer a thing, as they destroyed all the ships. But so far you don't know any more than that.
Weren't they making a ship out of fingernails?
Yes,
downstairs
in the underworld. That is very, very true. They were building. So everybody that was coming in was paying a tithe, and this boat was being built to bring the undead to Ragnarok when the time came. Now you guys did have the option to destroy that, but with Hel being in the position that she's in, you elected not to. In that, when the time comes, the forces of Hel should, in theory, be able to return for Ragnarok, but in aid of the raiders rather than what may have gone down prior. So yes, you changed that circumstance, but yes, there was definitely a ship to travel between the lands. So yes, there was definitely some situational things like that. Yeah, and obviously Zisa has also been told there is a shipbuilder here somewhere, by the name of Runar. Certainly another figure.
I imagine if they're not here, then perhaps they're in the settlement that we passed on along the way when Hrolf was leading us here.
Yeah, I mean, in just the brief look-arounds that you've seen of the outside of this place, there are orchards, there are the sparring grounds, and there is whatever this little settlement that was off on the road previously that you haven't explored. There's certainly many places to visit for certain.
With Zisa mentioning Hrolf, Bergie will probably be like, yeah, you need to reintroduce yourself to Hrolf. He doesn't know that he's already met us when we came, and he's not seen you, and he's gonna indicate the whole new visage kind of thing.
Perhaps when this place was completed, there was some sort of lapse in memory, or
it was like a reset. That's what it feels like.
I blinked and it was done.
Oh yes, Rowder would be that would be new information to the rest of you. You slept through it, but yes, Rowder actually being awake. One moment it was there, and the next it was this.
Did anything else
no one thought it was
change? Was it just the building that changed, or was it like clouds in the sky suddenly move, and was it like completely different environment?
Hard to tell in the hall, but you would have seen the people around you would have been different. There would have been maybe some familiar faces, but others, very different from prior.
So she could have been having a conversation with someone, and then that someone just suddenly disappears.
Yeah, I think let's say it played out that way. I think that's very valid. That she was having a conversation, she turned, she blinked, and that person wasn't there. Someone else was at the table, just further away, or something along those lines. We'll say that's how it played out for her.
We have a horror movie.
I will also say, Zisa, you probably saw it too. Thonir is a lot older. He seems to have new memories. Something has, even in the time that we slept, and well, some didn't sleep, it's like we've time jumped years into the future. I don't even know if we're at our time yet. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I think I get your meaning. You wonder if perhaps the leap forward here is indicative of the time that has passed in Grimir. Perhaps.
Whether that's... I tried to reach out to Hel, and It was like there was no connection. There was nothing. I can't.
attempted the same, and what I met was the resistance of those tentacles that attacked us during our ascent. Perhaps we're being blocked. Here is safe enough, but
there's a few possibilities that they're blocking us, that something has gone bad in Hell's domain, and we might need to hasten our efforts to get back there, or we're just not at the time when we've already saved Hell. We may be in the time when Hell was still bad, where or being held over by the other gods. We may not have reached our timeline yet.
you think that we're out of sync.
That
Maybe.
would make a lot of sense.
Some of the guys here say that they remember sad Carpenter version Thormir from hundreds of years ago, and they've seen him get better. So, for that guy to exist, it implies that hundreds of years ago from the version that we see now is when Hell died, supposedly. And they've seen him do the full grieving process. But we missed the grieving process, but no one remembers us arriving at that immediate point. I'm very confused. Blokey looks like his head's about to blow up. He's not thought this much ever.
He also seemed to imply that when I went to go see, did you say the keykeeper, the gatekeeper? Sorry, James, what did you call that
keeper.
person?
He called it the keeper. Yeah.
When I went to see the keeper, that was also long ago. I don't know if that is just a property of this place, that it seems to jump forward and backwards in time.
I like the. Well, I don't like it, but I like the theory of it's out of sync with the rest of the realms. It's out of sync with Grimea. It's out of sync with. I keep forgetting. I'm just going to say Hell.
I'm pretty sure
the
it's
underworld,
literally
yeah.
Hell. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
It's called Hell.
But
And
why are we the only ones that remember it? Everyone else seems to just be unaware of these sync changes, or whatever we're going to call them. But we're completely aware that it's happened. No one else is aware.
Zisa's going to turn over her wrist and show her rune. Do you all still have your marks, your runes?
I check. I can't remember what I said.
You
I
do?
had them, but
Yeah, no, you definitely still have all of your tattoos. None of them are glowing in the way that Zisa's mark is currently, but you do all have them, absolutely.
James.
Hmm.
In Frida's studies of Thonir and this place, has she ever even heard of or seen anything about these black tendrils?
No,
Is that normal?
That is nothing in scripture. Yeah, the halls of the Seine are, in theory, perfection. There is no taint or anything like that that ever come up in scripture. So yeah, that would be very odd to Frida, for certain, on that one. Obviously, Zisa, he did say he believes that taint was from the Jotun and Boda herself. So yeah, that would be true. That you would be aware of. But it is of no strength.
Frida will relay it and just say, could Boda be causing this sort of issue? We've already ran into Hell not being the same because of their influence. Could we also be running into that to cause them confusion? They don't help Grimea when it comes to the time?
I have been working with the theory that if this is truly Ragnarok, then nothing we can possibly do would prevent it. But if this is some sort of constructed situation, that someone is trying to bring forth a Ragnarok of their own making, then it is worth fighting against. The presence of Boder influencing this realm, and how Hell was meddled with, it makes me believe that there are outside influences. And perhaps it is Boda and Murgle. She reaches inside her bag to see if the head is there.
Ah, yes, fair enough. It is an empty bag when she reaches, yeah.
So she'll show that to everybody and say,
Okay.
Rowdor, I can't remember the specifics. Have you don't get to the Halls of the Slain, but have you ever faced those black tendrils before even getting here? Or do you get crossed away at Hell?
That's interesting. Rounded's been seeing visions of the gates a lot. She has been to them many times, but is always basically rebuffed by them. And she does always return once more. Now, whether that's dreams or if that's more, it's always been hard to say, but she went to the gates many, many times and was turned away every time. And crawled out of the fire or whatever was going on in that time.
If the tendrils are new and in the not part of the process of getting here, the loss of our friend's soul and the attack from the tendrils, surely that's an issue here. There's a missing soul, essentially. The Valkyrie was supposed to bring X amount of souls, and only us made it. Maybe we should ask about the loss of our friend's soul, because that might be a trigger to some of these Valkyrie that something's up, something's amiss.
So the loss
I don't know if they keep
Valkyrie.
records. And exactly.
there was one who carried me who also was struck down. And
They've
she'll
got,
turn
yes,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to agree with you in words. That was it.
She'll turn to Scold and just say, I still have no memories of the process. What happens to a soul that is dropped on its way to the Halls of the Slain?
Interesting. So Zisa, yeah, you would have to seek her out.
She's not here with us.
Yeah, you would have to
Okay.
seek her out in amongst the halls.
It is so then I will say that I will ask Skull
yeah,
the process.
Fair, yeah. But no. As with Herolf, she is not directly with you when you guys woke.
Did anyone else? It was Sphere Cat, right? In
No, it's just Madresh and
Madresh and Skull. That's the only ones that came up with us. Did we have a third in that fight or no?
They're the ones that you named, so they were the ones that are here. Anyone you named was in risk. So
Okay, so that was just, and I wasn't here to name.
We
it.
didn't use.
It was those two. Okay. So she'll say, even though it would seem that my choice to leave was my own, and that I didn't do anything really to cause any ire, the other Valkyrie still avoid me. And it's possible that my parents will be that way as well. I think the only one that could potentially answer our questions would be Skuld. And I do not know where she is currently.
James,
Hello.
I'd like to, just for our own sake, I would like to locate object on his head. It's within 1,000 feet.
The head of Murgle. Okay.
Yeah.
On that one, yes. Nothing pings for you, Frida, in this place. Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. Fair. It's a good test.
It is worth noting that the head also disappeared when we went to the underworld as well. Perhaps
That
it
is
is
again true.
bound to Grimir, as Grimir is Murgle's body.
What? What happened when I cast that spell, James? Because I draw my magic from Thonir.
Yeah, it's as strong as ever here when that happens on that one. I think, Frida, the only thing different happening here is that you get the sense and the feel of it coming from him, and it is passed to you as an energy, and then you cast it out. And you're more aware of that here than you are normally.
It's a weird question, but does he react to that?
No, in the moment doesn't seem to, but you definitely feel that energy is coming from him.
I think we should go to the ash-smelling place. That immediately took mine and Blokey's. It was a strange smell, like I can't describe it. Or maybe talk to the Fae. You know what they're like. They're not exactly trustworthy. Most of the time, they are full of mischief and.
But they are experts in things going weird.
Also, they possibly have more of a connection to the trees than Thonir. Possible they might know of where more materials are for the shipwright to create a vessel for us.
True.
So, what's the plan? Yeah, are you heading to the south, back to that original place on the shoreline, or what's the thoughts?
Maybe sniff out the Fae.
I think Zisa's gonna try to find Skuld first to see if A, she wants to come with us, B, if she's been affected by this memory jump, and C, if she knows some of the answers to the questions that we're asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's relatively easy to solve, Caesar, so we'll have that relatively quickly. It becomes very apparent very quickly, the same as Herolf. No memories of seeing you guys here before. She has been here a long time. But she is very pleased to see you all when she does, and she's just surprised and happy. But it has been a long time for her.
Does she remember herself arriving?
She remembers arriving at the beaches. Conspicuously, all the bits of meeting all of you are missing from what you can put together. It's like as if she spent the time on her own. She found her Rolf. She came through, but that it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these would then, so that answers a couple of the other questions, but I guess the one that we still don't know, what happens when a Valkyrie is struck down, and what happens to a dropped, vanquished warrior?
Basically, she doesn't know much about people being lost. Valkyries are lost. She is one. She was lost in a way. Others are struck down. Others try to fly too high. Others try to cross the seas and have been lost. She knows those sort of stories. It happens from time to time. But new Valkyries are born. New Valkyries come along as others age and time passes. She is looking noticeably older, by the way, as well.
Okay. Then, yeah. I guess what's everyone else want to do? That was the last thing I was going to do. We'll just leave her here since she's not the lady that we brought with us.
Yeah, a long time has passed for on that one for certain.
Why is it only us?
Why are people aging?
Which one's the god of trickery?
Murgle.
That's
Murgle
Murgle.
is the god of trickery. Yeah, so he is the land. He is that as well. But he is the god of.
He's the land. He is my magic.
Yeah, he is the god of lies. He's the god of trickery. He's the god of he's basically Loki.
A man of many skills.
Yeah, a man of many skills. Yeah.
The only explanation I can think of is Murgle is doing something to this realm. Whether that's trying for people to forget us for some reason. We hold I don't want to the key to either stopping Ragnarok. We're not going to be able to prevent it, but putting an end to it maybe. It just seems very strange that we are not getting any of these symptoms compared to everyone else.
Not
Even
at all.
Thonia is getting it. If we think about it, he's gotten substantially older.
And there's nothing to be rolled here to maybe figure out why, James. No.
You've
and
just
no-
not got enough.
Yeah.
Enough to work things out.
Maybe the Fae people know a lot more too. They're all about trickery. Maybe Murgle is getting his power here through them. It just seems strange to me that there would be Fae on this island when the whole Thonia doesn't even seem to care about anything apart from this hall, so why are they here?
He did intimate the Valkyrie were older, Zisa, when he was talking to you as well. He seemed to suggest they were here before. So yes, there is that. That is something of difference.
If there has been a time jump, I wonder if now the Valkyrie will talk to me. Have they been affected by it? Does time heal all wounds?
Fair enough. Do you seek out anyone?
Yeah, I think Zisa is gonna excuse herself from the group, and I think she's going to go try to find her parents.
Is she still translucent? Sorry, just
Absolutely,
Also, am I
yeah.
still translucent? Okay.
Yes,
No.
absolutely still
just
translucent.
thought suddenly if there's change. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just do an investigation check then, Zisa. We'll see how quickly that goes if you're looking around the grounds.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, you spend a bit of time. There are plenty of Valkyrie around. Some seem to be heading off towards the orchards, towards the north and things like that, but nothing... There's nothing tugs. There's no... As you look at these people, there's no inkling or anything like that. And yeah, you haven't spotted a couple that makes sense when you're maybe slightly frustrated by that in the time.
I'll just return to the group, shaking my head.
Yeah. A few hours have passed, I guess. Is there anything else that would have happened in these moments, or is it time as the group gets back together? They want to head towards the Fae.
Let's sniff them out.
Sniff them out, no problem. Easily done. So yeah, I will bring you all down. So yeah, you make your way back to the change of the space as this is all going on. You can see the path that leads off, and you do make your way there. And when you do arrive, you step into a wide clearing, and you immediately stumble upon a small creature wearing a bright red dress and a green cloak, and the strange bones of a boar on the ground before her. And she sort of looks around at you all for a moment, and sort of she shushes you all for a moment. Where is she? 1 second. There she is. So she goes, shh, but she's tiny, but she goes, shh. Just don't disturb him, okay? It takes him longer these days.
What?
Just wait a moment.
What takes who longer?
Just wait. You'll see in a moment. Yeah, she's staring at the ground. You can see the sun gets high enough in the clearing that light appears across the bones of this giant boar carcass. Well, the bones of, as you're standing there for a few moments, you start to watch the bones knit together, flesh start to appear on the boar, and then it sort of rises and regenerates its entire form in the moment. Soon, the flesh and hides all comes together, and this massive boar rises from the ground and lets out a bellow in the moments, and then it sort of sniffs at the moment, and then sort of seems to nuzzle down to this small creature, and it's sort of like, there, you're back again. And she sort of smiles at this giant boar that seems to be enjoying a scritch that's coming from this woman.
What's happening?
Cool trick. Good job. Like, he's gonna like slowly clap. Not really sure what else to do.
Yeah, he's taking longer these days, isn't he? Oh, and she's like giving him a bigger scritch, and he's like, "Go on, get out of here. They'll be chasing you later." And she gives him a whack, and it's like, and starts to roam off into the forest, and says, "Ah, the old boy. It's getting harder for him these days. Bless. But what can I do for you folk? You new around here?" And she sort of looks quizzically. "I don't think I've seen any of you."
It would depend on who you ask. We only just arrived yesterday, but
Oh, new.
what we can tell, yesterday has been many, 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 many moons ago.
Or not at all, depending on who you speak to.
Oh, so you know then that things are moving differently then. And she looks at you quizzically.
Yes, you
Yes.
are the first we've spoken to who has even acknowledged it. Thonir himself doesn't seem to know.
Oh, no, he wouldn't. I never seen any of your kind that knew things were moving strangely. That's a first. I thought that was only one of the tricks of us sort of folk. Who are you?
Is this a new thing?
No, this place has been stuck in a cycle for a long time, but any of you knowing that is unusual. This place is very fractured, is the best way to put it. Time doesn't run as it should anymore.
Anymore? So do you remember when it ran as it should?
I was here the first time through, yes. But that was a long time ago now. Many moons.
As in before folks like Thonir came?
There was a time before him and the others came. It was a different place then, but he has shaped it into his own over the centuries, but now it doesn't run the way it should. Things are changing, and we don't know how to fix it. And he doesn't either.
Do you, by any chance, know why this is happening? Some event that's happened recently? / not recently?
The darkness wasn't here the first time. And she sort of points to the horizon and sort of says, it was all normal before they came.
They who?
The darkness on the shadows, on the edges of this realm. Don't be fooled, they're
black
stronger than they
tendrils.
look. Yes.
So we were right. They are not part of this place.
They were not here normally.
Do you know where they came from?
No.
Who summoned them?
No. I'm not sure of anything, but yeah. A period ago, they appeared in the sky, and now this cycle continues on and on. And only a few, us Fae and a few others, and some of the Valkyrie are aware of it. Some are stuck, some are not. But, yeah, not many of us know or can see that it's all fractured.
Zisa will turn to Frida and just say, the Valkyrie that we spoke to seemed to know that Thonir would regain his memories, would know who he would become.
What makes us different? Do you sense anything about us? Since you've been here for a while and you've seen these changes, what makes us different?
The only thing I know for sure, and time is strange, but when I think you're the last, I don't think anyone else has come through since you, and that's not normal. And cycles keep repeating over and over.
So you're saying that not only is time cycling here, but no new warriors that have fallen in battle have arrived since us.
I'm saying you're the last I know of.
It must be extremely strong magic because it's affecting a literal god. Not just normal souls coming here.
This place has been safe for a long, long time, yeah. But yes, things are changing. I knew this thing Thonir calls Ragnarok is coming, but it shouldn't be causing all of this. It is very strange times.
To be honest, I would say it's already started, and that's probably what's causing whatever's happening here to happen.
Can't have been. Everyone here would be free.
Maybe whatever's doing what you can see around you is stopping them from being free.
Oh, maybe.
Is stopping them going back and helping the land of the living.
I wish I knew more, but yeah, it has been a long time coming, and we're all concerned, but we don't know how to move forward from this fracture. We all seem to be stuck. Only difference is some of us know. I just didn't know any of you knew. And trying to convince anyone of your kind before that there's a problem, well, falls on deaf ears when they just sleep and return to what they were in those moments. It's frustrating, to say the least. The boy you just watched, he is wandered off for now. But again, he'll be feeding the tables of the Halls of the Slain later on. Over and over again. And now out of time and out of sync. It's got to end sometime.
Raudor, I know you were very drunk last night, but can you sort of remember the time that everything just changed? Because you said it happened in a blink of an eye. Everything was normal, and it was literally different straight away.
It wasn't long after you all departed to sleep. I was having a conversation with someone, and literally took a sip of my drink, and they were gone. I still continued the conversation with whoever was in front of me, but they were certainly different. And the hall had been completed.
When I spoke to Thonier, he said that there were boats that could be used to create vessels that could traverse the seas here. But he said that they were cut down long, long ago. If this is a cycle, could we wait until it resets? And then the wood necessary could be used with the shipwright, Raynor, I think you called him?
Yeah, Runar.
Runar, to create a boat that we could use to then go north to see this keeper, who seems to have answers that Thonir doesn't. When I spoke to him...
I would wait to see if the hall resets itself, because we don't want to be on a boat that we just built that then suddenly isn't a boat anymore.
That is true.
Yeah. No one's travelled from this land in a long time. Thonir did, you're right, when he arrived. They did cut down trees for that purpose. But he destroyed them long ago.
Do we know why they destroyed them? Did he say?
There are dangers out there that he doesn't speak of. But for me, it trapped me here. I'm from a place called Whispering Cove. It is a sail away. But yeah, I have not been there since the dragon picked me up and dropped me here such a long time ago.
Whoa. Why did you not lead with that sort of
What?
There are dragons here, and what do you mean they picked you up?
Not in a long time. Not in thousands of years. But no, I know that Thonir did the ships a long time ago and destroyed them. And to what you're saying, this time period is fractured and repeating, but there are three. And the earliest one is Thonir arriving not long after being here for a while, but that was after he had destroyed all the ships. So I don't think your plan of going back will be back far enough, if that makes sense.
So there are 3 times that seem to repeat. You said when he is here. Now he is much older, along with the rest of the Halls of the Slain.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the second period or the third? And
this is where he's at his strongest at the second. In the third, it is mostly darkness.
Maybe that is where we need to be. If it is mostly darkness, we may be able to seek what is causing this.
Maybe.
Put an end to it. But I think we should... Well, as Raudor has pointed out, we don't exactly want to build a boat just for it to disappear in the night.
But I don't believe that our answers are on this island. I think we have to leave somehow.
I completely agree with you. We need to get to the other islands, but how we're going to do that and maintain a boat that may disappear every single night is going to be a hard one.
Do your kind have alternatives for travel in the area, or?
I wish we did. No, I've been stuck here a long time. We were surprised when Thonair and his group turned up in boats. But, yeah, no. Since the dragons don't fly no more, we're mostly stuck as well. Crossing the seas is no mean feat.
And there's not some sort of secret collection of this wood that exists anywhere that is all gone, truly?
Not that I know of. But I don't know everything of here.
If we can procure, somehow build such a ship, would you be interested in coming with us and giving us your crew action?
To be able to travel. If you promise that eventually we might be able to swing by Whispering Cove, I would be interested. For sure.
You
Seek
tell
me
us the
out.
way.
I'll be able to do that. I've traveled the seas before. By air, mostly, but I'm sure I could remember some of it. But,
By air? What do you mean?
well, by dragon. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, Frida, dragons are like, there are no dragons on Grimir as far as you're aware. It's like legend that Thonair killed the last of them. But that was, that's as much as you've ever heard of dragons, if that makes sense. It's just she's talking about mythical creatures in your mind in that respect. But this is a strange place.
Is it mythical creatures, or more like if someone told you that they saw a T-Rex in like the forest of Dean or
Yeah,
something
that would
like that?
fair enough. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, they
Okay.
have roots in. Yeah, that would be
Okay.
fair.
Do we want to wait until the next reset to go, or try to leave as fast as possible?
Well, how long do these resets normally take? Is there at least a
Every night.
a rhythm?
Every night.
Every night?
Every night there is a new fracture. It
Well, if
changes
every
every
night-
time.
Okay. Well, if every night we can at least get a feel for which time zone is more favourable to us.
I would imagine that the third one, that is mostly darkness, would not do us any favors.
Good theory. But it may encourage more of the folks back at the hall to be on our side, desperate for change and hope, perhaps.
Perhaps, but to what end? If they're caught up in the cycle of time, as most seem to be, we could gain allies and then lose them just as quickly.
True.
Certainly this being has sort of intimated as much. That if you try to explain, they don't remember.
We also have a potential issue of when this reset does happen in the night, are we going to come back to this island, or are we going to stay on the potential island that we are on?
Yeah, you have no
Is
answers.
it like a hard reset? We're going to blink our eyes and be back here?
Well,
So
rather,
that's why it's important to experience them all, so we actually work out how it works instead of just guessing.
true. When Rado was speaking with whoever she was speaking to, and then suddenly it was a different time, she remained where she was.
Yeah, that is true. She did not move. That much you know.
That might be because we're on this island. So there's no need for us to walk back here. But I understand we will not know until we try something.
Mm.
And if we stay here, risking Ragnarok without any help from the Halls of the Slain, which is not favourable in us.
It's a fair comment, that's for certain. So what's the plan? Yeah, what are your thoughts? What are you guys going to get up to? Are you going to try and feast and sleep the day away and try again tomorrow, or are you going to explore some more? Yeah, we probably have. We'll say we've got half an hour left of time for play here, so we'll call it that at most. So, how would you like to move things along for this last bit of the night?
We could see the settlement.
We could try to cut down some trees and see if they also reset. If they don't, then we may be able to build a boat and it stays with us.
Break shit and see what happens.
So yeah, what's the plan? Are you cutting down some trees around this area, or are you moving? What do you think?
No, I think the settlement is probably a better idea. See if we can find more people.
Okay.
And I'm assuming who we just met is following us now, because
no, she certainly said that if something changed, by all means seek her out. But no, she's not. She's not following you. She's going to be following a boar off into the woods. She has other things to do on that one. Right. So yes, you will all make your way to the settlement that you had seen before. There is a wooden house that sits amongst the trees. There are several goats milling about the small clearing surrounding the house. Smoke curls upwards out of a stone chimney. The building is a single-room structure, and it seems to be, there seems to obviously be someone is in, because there is smoke coming from the top of the chimney, as this is all part of what's happening here. You will see there is a man in amongst with the goats and appears to be milking one of them. I will bring you to him 1 second. And yes, it is this guy. And he is a grey-haired dwarf, and he seems to be milking a goat of some description. He says, "Can I help any of you? We're quite busy right now." And he sort of carries on milking this beastie as this is all happening. You need anything? If you need food and more mead, it's all at the halls. We send everything up there as soon as it's ready. We're not done with the milking yet, but we'll send it up as quick as we can.
Why are you so far away from the halls, may I ask?
Well, we have to look after the goats, you see. They need to be sorted and milked, and then we need to send it up to the hall. That, and we make the mead, and no one likes having that done right on the doorstep, so we do all of that out here with me and my husband. And there is another dwarf making his way out from the actual building as this is going on. He's also surprised to see visitors and on that one, and more new people. Who have you got there, care? And he says, I don't know quite yet. But anyway, what can I do for you all?
We're new here. We're kind of just exploring, finding out what goes on the island, really.
Oh, well, fair enough. That's more than most do. Well, welcome to you all anyway. Like I said, most of people spend their time in the feasting halls, and we help supply the feasting halls as quickly as we can. And as he's letting go of that goat, he is literally as quick as a flash moving to the next one, and starts milking that one like he's rushed off his feet as this is going on. And yeah, he seems very intent on his work, shall we say. No rest for the wicked. And yeah, he carries on milking this second goat.
How did you come by this job? Why are you not chilling with everyone else?
Oh, someone's got to keep the goats, otherwise who's going to have all the mead? Needs to be sorted. It doesn't come from nowhere, you know.
I gathered that, but why you? Did you volunteer? Was this assigned to you?
Well, yeah, when we arrived, it seemed we were the best for tending the goats, so, yeah, me and my husband, we took the job on. But, yeah, you know, dealing with this is, it's a lot, but you got to keep going. And, yeah, probably, Blokey, at that point, you realize they're not milking milk, they're milking mead from these goats.
That's upsetting.
That's right. Oh,
You drink so much of that too.
Oh.
It all comes from the magical goats.
Goat mead.
It is goat mead, yes, as the way of that on the one.
How's that sitting in your stomach, Rado, now?
She probably dry heaves a little bit.
Fair enough.
Out of curiosity, do you notice anything weird about this place?
What do you mean?
Do you notice time going differently?
He looks very confused when you start talking about that.
Okay.
Look, we have a job to do. We get on it. We live a simple life. You know, yes, we have visitors once in a while. But, you know, we keep mostly to ourselves. Runar comes and sees us once in a while, but other than that, we are, you know, we're pretty simple folk. We just keep the mead flowing. Needs to be done. And yeah, he's already moving on to the next goat. He has no time to spare as this is going on. You probably look and see the one that he initially went to is already starting to swell again. So yeah, it's like it's a very quick process. What is going on here?
I don't like it.
I'm getting that same level of discomfort as like Luke Skywalker milking that weird thing in The Last Jedi.
There you go. Yeah, nice. It's like blue milk. Yes.
I'm getting that level. Yeah.
Zisa would just say, "What of ships?"
Ships? Oh, there haven't been any since we arrived. Thorne got rid of them after his great exploits. He said it was too dangerous out there for people to go wandering anymore. But no, there's not been no ships, and Runar laments that for sure. He would always talk about his great works on those, but yeah, that's a long time gone.
And he doesn't believe that he's capable of making any more.
Oh, I'm sure he's capable. He always has been, but yeah, no, with Thorne getting rid of all the last of the trees, he's had no way of making boats. I think he's been a bit lost since then. It's been a long time. Many centuries ago.
But not enough centuries that we would time hiccup back to it. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's two levels of thing. There was a time before time, the time that you guys have experienced, yeah. Yeah, is there anything else you guys do here, or are you moving on for one last point for the evening, or would you like to see the sleep and wake for the last round of this period? What do you think you would do?
I think we should all try and stay up and watch it happen, I guess.
I'm okay with watching it maybe happen from here, because if there's any sort of darkness or attack, it probably happens at the hall, right? So maybe we could watch it from here.
Yeah, you can spend the night out here in the out in the glades. That's certainly true. Is there anything you two to prepare? Yeah.
If everyone's watching the halls, I think I'm gonna watch where the tendrils are. So we can set it's somewhere down here. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So at the moment, it's like on the horizon, you can see there's just this like looming darkness, if that makes sense. But it's really on the peripheral of the edge of the space, if that makes sense. It's barely perceptible. Yeah.
I just want to see if anything happens when time jumps. If something happens before in that area.
So yeah, so some of you watch the halls, some of you don't, but you set yourselves up for the evening, and you do watch that all sort of play out as that goes on. But yeah, there is a point in the night, Frida, where you do blink and time seems to have jumped. The black tendrils are now almost directly overhead. There is a bright spark in a moment as a gate is smashed, a sight that you have seen once before, as these giant black tendrils are literally coming over the space. There is barely any sunlight here in this moment as you guys sort of come back together and see the world as it is at this time. Yeah. What do you do? Where do you go in these moments?
Does
anything
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, does anything look like in the halls of the slain? Does it look like it's under attack? Does it?
No, it doesn't look like it's under attack. But when you guys do make your way back to the hall, you can see the hall is dimly lit, darkened, and intensely older. The wood is looking well carved, maintained, but the building has seen much time has passed, if that makes sense. So it's not as fresh, if that makes sense, as when you last saw it. Now there are signs of age and weather. The sound that is coming from the place is incredibly loud, but it is the clashing of swords and bits, and you can see that it is the training grounds that were a medium-sized section at the back of the building are now ginormous, and there are hundreds, thousands of people training with swords and spear. The noise is dramatic as this is all happening on that one. But very different from the last time you saw it. Much more active, a lot more going on, but a very much an older space when you arrive. Do you guys make your way? Do you make your way into the actual space again? Okay.
Yeah, Aziz is going to keep an eye out for Herolf and for Scald.
No problem. So this time when you go in, the mood within the hall is very sullen. Thornir is barely sitting upon his throne. His beard is ragged and unkempt. The mead stains on his clothing, and he has a vacant stare that seems to have settled in, and it's not clear what he is looking at. But yeah, do you guys approach this version of him in these moments?
Is it older? I know his beard is ragged, but does it mean he's older?
Yeah, he definitely looks older again.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Not the fit, kempt man that you saw last time. This is an older individual, wizened, and has a sort of vacant, drunk stare to him as you look out to him in the moments. Not quite what you again, a different version of what Frida would be expecting.
I guess we go up to him and see if he recognizes either me or Ziza. So we've spoken to him now.
Yeah.
So as you approach, he goes, "So, it seems that the Chosen had failed Grimir as well."
This is our We've linked the times.
And then basically he goes, "Your deaths, they were not foretold. They were not to be. Yet here you are. And now none remain capable of stopping Ragnarok down below. And with the Jotun covering these halls with their tendrils, neither Valkyrie nor her heroic dead will join the final battle. We, are surely doomed." He is speaking to you as if he has never met you before.
He knows who we are.
He does know who you are, yes, but he is speaking to you as if you're strangers to him, if that makes sense.
I'm going to explain, even though we've already had the conversation with the person in the south that everyone doesn't believe. I'm going to explain everything that's happening that we've witnessed since being here. We witnessed him young, we witnessed him middle between, and now old. Something is wrong, whether that's the Jotun, Boda, Murgle. Something is messing with this place.
He tugs on his beard and thinks and says, "Yes, the Jotun are winning, or have already won. And now with you not on the other side to stop or help with Ragnarok, we are probably truly all done. But there are lands beyond this hall, across the seas, and I remember them. An island of little folk, and another place an old woman claimed was the wisest of the wise there. She may have answers too. The Keeper, he may know more. There are people out there. And sleeping dragons. They were powerful once. Maybe they can be of help as well." And then there is a voice that sort of calls out, and you don't recognize the person, but he says, "Then we could build a ship then," a voice says from the crowd.
Yeah, let's build a ship.
But he goes, "But all the trees are gone. I had to build these walls in this place. It can't be used for anything else now."
Why not? Sorry, recycle, reuse.
The magics,
I'm sure there's a wing.
The magics wouldn't do what they need to because they've used them for this form.
So, when they were cut down, but before they were created into the hall, they could have been repurposed.
When I cut them down and used them for this place, they were beyond that point where they could be done. I don't think using those logs would build a ship that would work at this point.
At this point.
I destroyed the ships. Maybe I doomed us all. And then he thinks for a moment, and then he looks down and he goes to a pouch in one pocket and pulls out and goes, "But I do have this." And he holds up a seed, a glowing gold seed. Maybe you can put this to use, where I cannot. And he passes you guys a golden seed. And I think that will be where we will end it for tonight. And we will come back next time to figure out what's next and how it's going to play out. But round one of the time loop is coming to a close. But yeah, there's more to figure out. But we shall see. We shall see how that will play out. But well done for now.